Hey everybody, it's time to do this. We're going to talk about congruent triangles in this video. So basically, you know congruent segments are segments that are the same length and usually denoted by a tick mark of the same flavor. Angles, you know if angles are the same, then they have the same measure, again with tick marks. Well, if triangles are congruent, that means every single corresponding side and angle in one triangle to another triangle is going to be the exact same. So if you look at this, we have triangle ABC, which is congruent to triangle XYZ. Notice how the order of letters does matter. Angle A has one swoop, angle X has one swoop, angle B has a swoop with a tick mark, angle Y has a swoop with a tick mark. So the order has to be the same. But what it means is all three sides of triangle ABC are the same length as all three sides in triangle XYZ. Angle A, B, and C are congruent to angle X, Y, and Z. So all of the corresponding sides and angles are congruent. That's what congruent triangles are. So if you had to list corresponding sides congruent to one another, you would just say the side with one tick mark, AB, is congruent to the side with one tick mark, XY. And you would just continue. Same with angles. If you picked angle B is one swoop and a tick mark, so angle Y is one swoop and a tick mark, so those are congruent. So you have to go with the matching sides, and you would list all three sets. So in this next example, we have triangle dog is congruent to triangle cat. Now you can draw a picture of triangle dog and triangle cat if you want to. However, it is not necessary. And the reason why it's not necessary to list what's congruent to DG is because we talked about the order. The order of which you write these congruent statements matters. So you have DG. That has to be congruent to, same order, CT, first letter, last letter. AC. So AC would be this letter to that letter, middle to left. So that has to be congruent to OD. So the order does matter. Finally, angle O is the middle letter, so we have angle A for the middle letter of triangle cat. Now, if you wanted to draw a picture, of course, that's totally fine. Just make sure you name them in the correct order. So if you had D on top and then going to the left for O, and then G on the bottom right, you would have to name this one in that same order. Okay? So what can we do with congruent triangles? Well, of course we can do more algebra. We know that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABD. So we have ABC. So we have those sides. We also have A, which is going to start A to B, but then we have D. So those are going to be the same, which means by default, these guys are going to be the same. This angle is congruent to that angle. This angle is congruent to that angle. And these guys down here are going to be the same. So what are we going to do? To find X, we see that this side has 3 tick marks. That side has 3 tick marks. You could also do it with letters, A to C and A to D. So we would just set them equal to each other. 2x minus 12 is equal to x plus 4. So that's going to give us x is equal to 16. Now we have to go find y. Well, y is in angle C, and it's also in angle D. Well, last letter, we can see that those angles are congruent. So we would just set 2y equal to y plus 10. So y is equal to 10. And that's it. You're good to go. Last 2 questions. For number 3, you have a whole bunch of statements written out. You have MN, NO, RT, and you have to solve for X and Y. Number 4, you just have to write a congruent statement for the 2 triangles. Remember, letters must match. So I would like you to pause the video. Number 3, try to find X and Y like we did in triangle ABC and ABD in number 2. And for number 4, just write a congruent statement. Remember, the order of your letters does matter. When you're ready, press play, and you're already done. So if you got X is equal to 10 and Y is equal to 12, you are good to go on number 3. Basically, you could have drawn a picture if you want, or you look at MN, first two letters has to match up with first two letters RS. So MN is equal to RS. So you set those two equal, you get X equals 10. Then you have NO. NO is the middle and last, would match up with ST, so that gets set equal to Y plus 4. You already know X is 10, so you substitute 10 in here, and that gives you negative 20. Solve for Y, and you get 12. And again, you are good to go. Last one. There are many different answers. Basically, what you need to do is pick the order of the first triangle. Now, I'm going to just pick a different order just for fun. I'm going to start at A, go to C, and then finish at B. So my first one is triangle ACB. You can pick any order you want for the first triangle. But now the second triangle, you must be more specific and follow the exact same pattern. So look, angle A is between 1 tick mark and 2 tick marks. So you have to go to the next triangle, and you have to find out that between 1 and 2 tick marks is Z. So your first letter is Z. Then you skipped across 2 tick marks. So from Z, we have to skip across 2 tick marks. And that'll take us to Y. And then finally, after you got to C, skipping across 2 tick marks, you'd skip across 3 to B. Well, in this way, we're going to go from Y, skip across 3 tick marks to X. So triangle ACB is congruent to triangle ZYX. And you could do any order that you want. If you wanted, you could have said that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle, and then that would be ZXY. Really, it all depends on what you want to pick. All right? Well, that's it for this video on congruent triangles. This is Longo, and I'm out. See you. Bye.